just finished my first MFA audition. Let's go do a callback.
I think it's just because the stakes are so high. I've heard way too many horror stories about people going into debt for acting.
I ultimately decided to decline the offer. Don't mind the mess back there, but I got back from Hawaii late last night. We're gonna spend some time to write our grad school applications and finish that up. I've been working with an acting coach, and he's been helping me prepare 4 monologues for my grad school auditions. It's still that in-between time before the new year hits, so it feels a little weird. Yeah, I'm ready to get these applications out of the way. I also brought a bunch of snacks from Hawaii, and so I'll be munching and typing. I wanted to spend some time practicing my monologues tonight, but I feel really bad about bothering my jet-lagged roommate and her boyfriend. So instead, I decided we're gonna try on some new makeup products because I do want my makeup to look on fleek when I have my auditions. This first one is the Jungsanmul. I cannot speak Korean, so please don't come for me. I have heard so many good things about this cushion. I heard that people use it more like a concealer and it stays on all day long through sweating in Korea and everything like that. This puff feels so nice. There were really only like 3 shades of this cushion, so I got the darkest shade. That's Korean cushion foundations, not very inclusive shade range. I can already tell little goes a long way, and it is a little lighter than my skin tone right now. I just got back from Hawaii also. This looks a little funny. It does look super smoothing, which is really impressive. This is awesome. I am gonna use 2 blushes. I've already used these before. It's the Can Make lavender blush and the lavender cloud paint. I feel like the Can Make cream cheek one, it's more of like a highlighter type of blush, and then Glossier is a bit more pigmented and it would also suit more skin tones. I'll probably do an actual bronzer, but I'm just being a little lazy right now. I really just want to try these other 2 products. We've got a brown eyeliner and a Hero and Make mascara. It feels like a really nice pen. It's definitely less dramatic than black, but I am a little surprised by how much more subtle it is. You can make a really thin line with this. For some reason, the product does not want to come out on my left eye. It's a little finicky, to be honest. I might have to see. Maybe I'll get a different eyeliner. It just took a long time because the product's not coming out very easily. Oh no. It doesn't look bad. I like that this brush makes it really easy for you to get your inner corners. I think I'll need to do proper wear tests for the mascara because my pet peeve is when it goes to my bottom lash line, which it's not going to do that right now, but I need to see how this wears. I'm at USC's campus and just finished my first MFA audition. I think it went well. Above all, I just had a lot of fun, so it gives me a lot of confidence about just doing the rest of my auditions, having fun in the process, and like not worrying so much about the outcome. So just gonna walk around the campus, and yeah, I like have never been here, and obviously like you have to like have a reason to be here to even be on campus, so I'm gonna walk around a bit. I just did my first NYU audition, and I don't think I'm gonna get called back. I don't know, I'm overthinking it. It's just my contemporary monologue didn't feel completely right, so it wasn't my best work. I don't think, things can always be worse, but yeah, it felt a little weird. And then he asked for an adjustment on my contemporary monologue, and I was saying it to him because that's what he kind of asked for me to do, is just say it to him standing there without moving around, and to just act like he's the other character. But he kept the most straight face and it felt really weird. So I guess that is always a thing that could happen. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you never really know. I guess I'm really weirded out by people who are supposed to be your quote unquote scene partner or reader, and then they're just stone faced the whole time, because I'm very much feed off of people's energy. But yeah, I don't know, I did my thing, and I'm gonna find out in 20 minutes if I get called back or not. But if not, I'm done for the day and I'm gonna just be chilling, I guess. Quick update on USC audition. I got an email earlier today and it said that I was put on the wait list for callback weekend, which is better than getting my application trashed. I don't know. Some person on Reddit said that they were going up almost to 3,000 auditions this year, so that's crazy. I don't know where they heard that, so I can't confirm or deny, but if that's the case, then even making it to the waitlist is pretty good. But yeah, it's intense. I think they are only taking 30, I don't remember exactly, I want to say 30 people for callback weekend and 7 people for the program itself. So I don't know at that rate how you choose between people at all. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little discouraged, not because of any particular outcomes that have come so far, because I've only done 2 auditions and they are both for very well-known competitive programs. I'm just a little worried that there's not that many programs recruiting this year. A lot of programs have switched to recruit every other year. Because of that, there's so many fewer schools that are at URTAs this year. Usually there would be at least 40 schools, and this year for the virtual URTAs that I'm doing, there's 25-ish schools that will be watching. It just feels like there's a lot fewer spots than there were pre-pandemic, and still probably similar number of people auditioning. And I really just wish there were more opportunities. So that's where I'm at right now, but at least I felt good about doing the audition. It seems to have shown, because they're at least giving my application some thought with the waitlisting piece. And I'll hear back in early February, or by early February, to know whether or not I'll be going to the callback weekend. So we shall see. That person on Reddit wrote back and said that they meant 1K and not 3K auditions. 1,000's still a lot, but 3,000 would be absolutely wild. So yeah, I just I can't even imagine things right now. So 1K and 3K sound the same to me. Hey guys, I just wanted to sit down and chat for a moment because I just came back from my UCSD audition. Spoiler alert, I did not get a call back, but that's totally okay. And I wanted to chat a little bit about thoughts I've been having throughout this whole process. I've been preparing to audition for grad school for around 4 years now. I made the decision that I wanted to go to grad school for acting when I was still in undergrad, and I was a theater minor. UC Berkeley's theater department is theater and performance studies, which means it combines acting with performance studies classes where you'd be learning about the history of performance. And if you major in the TDPS department, then you take acting classes, and of course you can focus in any areas you want, but you also have to do costume and lighting and set and a lot of different areas. And I was very much I want to be acting. So instead of majoring in theater and performance studies, I just did the minor, which allowed me to focus on acting and not take so many of the other classes. And at the same time, I was majoring in data science, which is very, very different. When I minored at Berkeley, it became clear that I wanted to do additional training, especially because of the pandemic and the fact that so many things went online, and I could not really do as much or be interested in trying to continue studying theater when everything was on Zoom. So it took me some time to feel like I was fully ready to apply and to receive. You know, when I went to USC and did their audition, they really asked everyone to ask themselves if they were really ready to take on the responsibility and work that comes with going to grad school. And I really have made sure that I'm completely ready financially, emotionally. Like, I'm ready to pick up my life and go somewhere else. I'm ready to like completely pivot and start a new career. But the process is pretty brutal this year in particular, and I would say starting last year. Been watching Libby Lee on YouTube. If you are in the process of applying to MFAs, then maybe you would have come across her videos if you search up acting MFA stuff on YouTube. She documented her process of going through grad school audition processes and her experiences at the different schools she applied to. She applied for 2 years, and she's now a student at Northwestern. I think she's about to graduate. But watching her really helped and also put things into perspective. She mentioned that when she went to URTA, she was seen by 47 schools all at once. Now, this year at URTAs, there's around 25 schools. It's been really difficult for theater to recover from the pandemic. ACT here in San Francisco, very well-known MFA program, completely shut down because they could not attach themselves to another university to maintain the funding that's needed to run such a big program. A lot of schools are now just recruiting every other year. They may have been recruiting every year to begin with, but since the pandemic have switched and are permanently recruiting every other year. And that includes UCSD, which was my dream school. Now, if I wanted to apply again, I couldn't just apply next year. I'd have to wait 2 years to apply again. And it's a really brutal process because you go in there, you do your 2 monologues, you're there for like 4 minutes. Then you step outside and they talk for a few seconds, for half a minute, and then you find out immediately whether or not they want to see you later that day. And in my case, they just told me you're free to go. It can be a very brutal process, especially if you have your eye on some of the very competitive programs like Yale and Juilliard. I know people who have traveled in order to audition to these places. You know, we spend a lot of time and effort working with a coach to prepare for these auditions. And so it's got me thinking about like the reality of like the competition within theater, but the fact that it's heading toward a place in which it's even more competitive than ever because of the pandemic and just how, I think honestly, how the economy is right now. It's not even just one thing or another, but, you know, broadly we're in a recession and the arts are not positioned in a place to thrive when the rest of the economy is suffering. Like, people might not want to spend as much on the arts when they can barely afford their sheer necessities, which is something that was honestly like beaten into me from youth by my parents, is to like think very seriously about my long-term career and doing something that is so irreplaceable that people will still hire you when things are tough. So I've just been trying to remind myself that my reasons for showing up are positive, and I have worked really hard. I've worked with a coach who I really trust. What I know is that I would be, like, I know my worth. I'm worthy of whatever opportunities come my way. So whatever doesn't come my way is like up to chance, but me showing up and doing the work is like what really matters and what's gonna take me far in the long term. When I was in high school, I was in speech and debate, and I had some bad experiences in which I felt so dedicated to speech and debate especially, and I worked so hard to try to improve my skills, but I would go to tournaments in which we debate 4 rounds in a day, and then I would win 3 out of the 4 rounds, and this happened like 8 times in a row. And it was really frustrating to feel like so close to just like, I don't know, trying to figure out what that missing piece was. Like, what is keeping me from just winning all my rounds in one day and being like good at debate. I struggled with that for a long time, but I'm at a point now where I'm just like gonna keep showing up because the activity itself matters, and I'm gonna keep believing in my ability to learn because that learning is more important than an outcome that only lasts a short period of time, if that makes sense. Hopefully you just like continue gaining experience, and even if one opportunity doesn't work out, there's always others. Anyway, looking forward, I'm having my URTA auditions tomorrow, and so I'm just gonna like keep showing up and doing my best, and I'm gonna be seen by a lot of schools, so maybe something will work out there that I can't even imagine how it's supposed to go yet. And if not, then I'm going to try again next year. I've been really enjoying the process of just working with my coach, working with actors. Anyway, if you're watching this way in the future and you are auditioning for grad school, you got this. Just put your heart into your work, and you know, the outcome doesn't matter so much. I'm gonna have lunch and chill out for the rest of the day, maybe get some ice cream later, probably go climbing, and I'll see you guys. I'll let you know how URTAs goes tomorrow. But though I loved you well, I wooed you not, and yet, good fate, I wished myself a man. I just did my URTAs audition. It just like I feel a little like I'm shaking. I was surprised that they didn't cut me off. I must have rushed through it a little bit, but I think it was alright. I got through it. Oh, it's so weird doing these things on Zoom, and if I don't get into a program and end up going to grad school this year, I'm definitely gonna prioritize going to the URTAs in person next year, because I know there's a lot of networking that happens even after the auditions, both with the other actors and also with the schools and stuff, that I'm missing out on by just doing this like Zoom quick 2-minute audition and then like get in, get out type of situation. So anyway, I find out about callbacks at around 2:30. So I was in like the first third of people to go, and it's around 10 a.m. right now. I'm gonna go get a coffee because I've been so tired all weekend and I want some caffeine. Yeah, maybe I'll sit around and journal about it, and I'll keep you guys updated as to how things go. I'm feeling really positive because I just like have only been auditioning for super competitive schools, and now that I'm being seen in front of so many people at once, I feel like somebody's gonna be interested in like the way that I do my monologues and like want to chat about it. So I'm hopeful, but it's not a big deal if nothing pans out because I don't have to go to school this year. So I'm feeling more positive about that than I have been in the past month or so. They just released the callback schedule and I'm so nervous. Holy shit. But I'm just gonna open it up. I really hope I've gotten at least I don't know, like a callback, please. Okay. Whew. Okay, I've gotten one callback. Damn! That's so rough. Okay, that makes me so nervous. Just because this is my first callback. Through this entire process, I've gotten one callback. It is for Case Western, which is a school I'm very interested in. Like, I feel a little defeated, to be honest, just because of how difficult this process has been. But I'm glad I got a callback from one of the schools I was interested in. It just feels so weird because there's like 9 member schools. I know they're each just trying to recruit like 8 people and they see like 1,000 people total, but it's still really nerve-wracking to just feel like everything's so competitive, because just because I have a callback as well doesn't mean that I will eventually like get an offer. They've already posted the guest contact later lists. It's all happening so fast. So I did dial into my callback with Case Western. It ended up just being a little conversation because they're actually auditioning people in San Francisco next weekend, and so they asked me to just schedule a time with them to meet in person. And yeah, I was like good with that because I love going to Studio ACT. Anyway, let's open up the contact later and see. Oh, I didn't know that they, apparently on the sheets that are filled out, they have what the university is that you are from. So that's why I guess like the Case Western director asked me about my UC Berkeley experience. But yeah, okay. So I have some contact leaders. This is interesting. I have no idea how they come up with their decisions here. I don't know, it's interesting. I think I'll go through, and what I'll do is I'll just research the program, make sure that they're offering an MFA at baseline. They have a good curriculum and have a overall positive reputation. Clearly, like, one of the schools just marked absolutely everyone as contact later, and that's suspicious to me. I don't know why they would do that, given that the page is literally public, so you can see everyone who's been marked for contact later. And yeah, I guess I'll reach out to some of these schools. Hey guys, quick update, because I've just been sitting here for like the past hour or so looking at the schools that I got a contact later for, and I don't know, this day has filled me with so much anxiety. It's really hard to like find the right fit, because I know what I want, and timing wise I'm ready to receive that, but some of these schools just straight up don't offer what I want. Some of these schools have really like mid to bad reputations. It's a really hit or miss when it comes to the non-member schools at the URTAs. It's like nice to see that they're interested in me, but I know that I can always try again next year if there's not like a really good fit. So I think I'm really just gonna reach out to like one or maybe two of the schools that gave me a contact later, and mainly just to talk with them. I don't even know necessarily that they offer what I'm looking for out of an MFA experience, but there's no harm in talking with them and having that callback. And a lot of the other schools I'm just not going to reach out to because it's not a good use of time when I know that they don't offer what I'm looking for. Let me give you some examples. Some of the schools I got a contact later for are conservatory programs, so they don't even offer an MFA degree, and I want my MFA specifically so I can teach in the future. I know some folks who went into MFA programs immediately after graduating from their undergrad, and I'm impressed that they were able to secure offers at very competitive schools like Columbia or Lambda. That being said, pretty much everyone I know who has gone into that direction has taken on some kind of student loans, and in some cases are more impacted by it than others. I feel like I want to do more theater no matter what. I haven't been as involved just because it's really hard to get involved when you work a full-time job. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience. I will keep you posted on what's next. So I just had my callback with a school in London. I was not really considering it at first because it was not like a particular interest of mine to go to a school in London, and I think I've been gravitating more and more towards schools that cover their tuition and offer teaching experiences, yada yada yada. I thought it was an interesting perspective. It was really good to like do that. One, they had me do my monologue for Shakespeare as part of the callback and gave me some notes and worked with me on it, and I just felt like I needed that unique perspective because in a way it gives me a bit more understanding of the text. It makes me think about certain parts of my coaching that were based more on creative liberty of the coach, and makes me think that I can also, take my own discretion with parts of it that I take forward or not based off of the conversation that I had with the auditor. Also, it was really good to understand like what experiences they offer, even though I doubt that I would like take that as like my top choice. It was a good experience, and so I'm glad I did the callback. I was surprised by the conversation. It made me think about just how like the problems of being an actor in the US, there's like a completely different set of norms and maybe potential problems, but also like things that are just different in London that maybe changes my perspective of what kind of training I would get if I went to a school in London. It's a lot cheaper to go to shows. I feel like the role that theater has in Europe is very different compared to what it is in the States. And also, it's like where Shakespeare all came from, and so there's a very big emphasis on that. Good morning. Let's go do a callback. Some good news, I got a second callback, so I'm gonna head back to Studio ACT in the afternoon, and they've asked me to prepare a third piece to show and 16 bars, so I'm gonna take some of the little feedback that they gave me, but yeah, I came back home so that I could just have lunch, chill out for a while until the afternoon. I haven't actually done my third or fourth pieces for anyone yet. I haven't had to sing for anyone, so finally I get to like show something that I've worked so hard on. The director has been really nice, and just the people I've talked to, so we'll see how it goes. One thing led to another, and anyway, you don't know Will. I'm not sure if I know Will. Just the post-audition vibes, you know? I think it's just because the stakes are so high, like, it's 3 years of your life. Feels like it's on the line, you know? I know it's not, like, there's always next year, but it just does feel like a lot. And there's a lot that's on the line, there's a lot of people who want the same opportunities as you. What I've gotten out of it is, like, so valuable. Just the fact that I feel like I'm getting experience and understanding now what it's like to be a part of this. I haven't had to like quote unquote compete in a way where you like meet the people who are wanting the same experiences as you. I haven't had to like do that in a very long time. It just feels like it's more like competition, but at the end of the day, cliche as it is, your only competition is yourself. Opportunities are competitive, but cool thing is you can apply as many times as you want. So I'm just writing, I thought this would help me is like write a little reflection, because I want to make sure every experience that I get auditioning that I can reflect on it, otherwise it just goes into the void of like audition experiences. I mean, this one won't, because it is my first like callbacks. I don't think I've ever been confident in my singing, because some people just have gone through the vocal training or are just so like comfortable with their singing voice that, I don't know, they just like have this wonderful like operatic voice, and I think I know a lot of those people, and so like I feel like knowing that I don't have that training or experience and I still like can feel places that I really need to grow in. I'm not trying to focus on any of that while I'm singing, but I'm just saying it's like, I think singing is way scarier than acting for me, just because it's like, it opens you up to more judgment. It's different from like acting for me, it's just like existing. I don't have to like have some particular like vocal muscle to do that. I just have to like show up. Anyhow, I've been rambling for a while. What will I say? I think the more that I learn about Case Western as a program, the more I'm like, this is amazing. Like, what the hell? Like, if you're interested in MFAs, check out Case Western. Yes, it's as competitive as like every other MFA program. They said they had 1,100 people audition for 8 spots. That's like every program I've auditioned for. You can just walk in too. Like, they don't charge you an audition fee or application fee. You can just walk in. Holy shit, okay. Do not scoff at Ohio. I know, I'm just bringing this up because literally my favorite podcast, Trash Taste Podcast, they did a tour, and then somebody asked like what was the most forgettable state, and they said Ohio. I've learned way too much and heard way too many horror stories about people going into debt for acting, and don't do that. There's so many great MFA programs out there. You only have to get in once to a program that you like and is a good fit. If you are auditioning for MFA programs, props to you, and like be kind to everyone that you meet, and yeah, just be awesome, okay? I'm so freaking exhausted, but also I've been putting off filming this outro for this video for the longest time. And if I don't do it tonight, I am not gonna do it. I don't know why, I just have been going through a time. So it is Friday, March 7th, it is midnight, and I'm not going to grad school this year, which is really sad. I don't know how it is that just thinking about people who I've never personally met, but people who are famous and have become artists in one way or another and have told some version of the story where they almost didn't pursue something, but then something happened that was like a sign for them. I'm just curious how many people are out there that never get that sign and then decide to like give up on their dreams. Let me explain. Did my auditions, you guys saw the recap of that. I just never heard back from Case Western, so they did not move me on to the final callbacks. And for Northwestern, I had applied with a video application. That application involved me uploading some videos to YouTube, so I did that as unlisted links. Now, I can still see whether or not the view counts have increased on those videos, and they have not since I've uploaded them. I have my doubts that they ever properly reviewed my video application, but I have heard people on Reddit saying that they've gotten their offers from Northwestern and Case Western. That's how I know I'm not going to grad school. I did get an offer from one school that would have been located in London, and honestly, it did make me realize, talking with this school, like what an amazing opportunity that would be to study drama in London. However, I ultimately decided to decline the offer. I just felt like it was a school that if I had attended, I would not be fully confident in the quality of the training that I was getting. Not because they're a particularly bad school, but I just had some doubts, and also just from seeing what actors from that program were putting on YouTube. However, I still stand by all of the things that I felt about my experience and performance. It was a really positive experience. I still think, just given the fact that I can try again, I don't doubt my ability to build a career in acting without going to school. I think that's the most important thing, because pretty much all of the things that are required of an actor to get work require auditions, which are very heavily based off luck. The fact that I went through this process and I felt stronger and I learned a lot from it, and I feel stronger than ever about my ability to learn from the process, that speaks volumes. That being said, I haven't really done a ton of acting since I've graduated, and honestly, it's been really sad. I want to do more always, but I feel constricted by the fact that I work a full-time job and I have to in order to, pay my rent. I'm still holding out on the idea of changing jobs to something that's a little more compatible with an acting career. I've been so focused on saving money for grad school, and had I known that it is this difficult to get into a grad school for acting, especially, I'm a little rusty. I don't have the level of acting experience that a lot of people do from just being a professional actor. If I had known that, I think I would have spent more time investing in my own lifestyle and just focusing on creating something that was a bit more sustainable for me. I don't regret the way that I've gone about doing things in the past, but I just feel like I've gained so much wisdom for what I really need now. So what's next? I have thought about a lot of different paths that I could take. I could go rogue. I could move to New York and quit my job and just become a full-time actor, but I don't feel like I'm ready for that quite yet. And a lot of that is this work confidence baggage that I'm still figuring out. I think because of the recession and post-pandemic vibes, it's been really hard to find and maintain that confidence in my ability to make money and make a living outside of my current job. I'm still working the same job that I worked when I graduated college more than 4 years ago. My channel name, Alice Jade Acts. Yes, it's about acting for theater, but if you look at my banner for my channel, the whole purpose is to take action. And I think that that's what I need to become an actor. is to learn how to take action in my own life and to just like go for the things that I want. I'm gonna be moving soon. I will be looking for a studio or 1-bedroom apartment to live by myself. I've always thought of my time in San Francisco as more temporary because I kind of moved here after starting my job and after the pandemic because I wasn't quite ready to leave a lot of the people that I met in college. A lot of people stuck around. I wasn't ready to kind of like just pick up my life and move it somewhere else. I still don't feel really ready for that because I just want to have that confidence that I can really make something happen for myself and that I'll be totally okay. Didn't want to like immediately start over when I don't feel like I've even gotten started, if that makes sense. It is so easy to feel like when you don't hit certain milestones that you've envisioned for a long time that you're like behind in some way. But actually, we're all so much closer to our goals than we were before, and it's hard to like think of it that way because like I just didn't get into a program, and so it feels like I have to start from square one, but I'm taking with me all of the learnings that I've gained from the past 4 years and before that. So I'm like the most well positioned to live my dream life and get what I want than ever before, and I'm learning a lot every day. So that's all we can really ask for. With that, I will let you guys go and I'll get some sleep. And if you are auditioning for MFAs, I don't know when I'm gonna audition again, but I'm rooting for you and for me, for us. Yeah, we're doing something so special. Like making art with people, connecting with people, and really valuing whatever that story or lesson is that a theater piece or the journey or the process that we share with other people has to offer us. So I'm really proud of us. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.